Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Holly. I have another plan as I go memory keeping spread to share with you today. The kit I'm going to be using is this Coffee Monsterz Co. Fall Floral Deluxe Kit. It is a beautiful kit, but I was like looking at my spreads that I have in my Erin Condren, and I am probably not going to have room for this kit, which is a total bummer. But I get to use it here, and I think her kits in particular are so well suited to the plan as I go style that this is a perfect fit. So I am going to do this sped up as per usual. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, what I'm doing is basically planning, kind of post-planning, really kind of basically scrapbooking or memory keeping my week. I normally try to do it like I try to come on at the every couple of days and do it. This week I'm a little behind. It's already Thursday. But I did take the time at the end of every day to jot down a few memories as to what I did that day. So it's just kind of a nice way for me to preserve my memories, obviously, and maybe capture a little bit more detail than I do in my Erin Condren, which is really focused more on to-dos and actual plans. This, I can write down, little funny memories and specific details about my exercise or where I went out to eat and things like that. I guess I could do it in my Erin Condren, but I like having it and I like playing with stickers, so I enjoy doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am going to start on my sidebar. I took that quote box from the kit in the top left. Thought that was super pretty. And then I'm using this week, she had a chunkier header that said this week, and using her two habit trackers underneath there. Obviously I'm not really tracking my habits as much, but I'm using it as a way to mark down whether I posted on Instagram and whether I worked out on that day. Then just taking some washi and one of her ombre checklists and putting that there. I'm going to use that to track Happy Mail. I took her little Happy Mail header there and put that on the washi. And then for the last one, I am going to do a weekly ombre, but I realized the weekly ombre was the same color as the checklist I had chosen, so I decided to switch out the checklist color just to add a little bit of variety. And then I am going to put down some more washi and then put that weekly ombre down. And for that one, I wanted to make that a tracking when I uploaded. So I was looking for something, and I was thinking about doing my meals for that, but then I realized that she had meal little things later, so I'll go back and make that a Happy Mail one later. But I haven't realized that yet. So right now I'm just putting the today headers down. I know it's totally redundant, but it's one less header to have to cover up in terms of colors. Although these headers did match color-wise, so I didn't necessarily have to cover them up every day, but I did. And I decided instead of doing today headers on Saturday and Sunday, since she did have a straight weekend banner, I think those look nice when you just lay them in line with the headers. So I just put that there in lieu of the todays on the weekend. I thought that looked pretty cute. Now going back through with her date headers and date covers and putting those on top of the today headers there. And then I am going through and doing the meal little things at the bottom of every day that I'll just use to track what I ate. And I am switching up the color order because of kind of what came with the kit. There was only one orange one, so I wanted to put that centered in the middle and then just kind of switched up the order there. And that's when I'm realizing that I definitely did not need to do meals in my sidebar, so I'm going to lift up that icon, and instead I'm going to grab an emoji from, obviously, since I'm doing a Coffee Monsterz Co. kit, have to use my emojis, and just using that as a symbol to mark YouTube, since the little emoji is holding a YouTube play button, which I thought was fairly cute. And then on Monday, I wanted to mark down that I went for a short run in the morning. I kind of like to start my week out like that. I can't do it every week depending on when I need to get into work, but it's really nice to just start with, feel like you already have some exercise in the bag before the week even really begins. And then I just used a full box and now a half box to mark down that on Monday, my husband and I he walked me home from the metro. We met in the middle, and it's like a mile walk, so we just used it as a time to catch up and like just chat. And then I noticed that I had a different Happy Mail header, like a more decorative one, so I replaced that green one with that decorative Happy Mail header. And now I'm grabbing a Clever Gal Crafts sticker, and this is one of her skinny hearts, and just using that to mark down that walk I took with my husband. And then my husband and I spent some time going over our budget and like doing finances stuff, so just marked that down, since it's always good to, like, when I'm looking back, it's nice to know that we did do some of that. And I grabbed a little eyeglasses sticker from the Paperly Boutique. I thought that was a cute way to mark down kind of like a more nerdy thing, like doing budget and finances. Then I took a flag from the kit and a little laptop emoji to mark down that I was supposed to be doing like YouTube editing and stuff, but I honestly just like vegged out and like stared at my computer because I was so tired from a long day. So, but that was, that was okay. It was nice to do that. Tuesday morning, I went to get coffee, and I had my first pumpkin spice latte of the season. So to mark that, I obviously had to use the little Once More with Love pumpkin spice munchkins. I did have some emojis I could have used, but this was like her pumpkin spice sheet, and it has, you can't tell in this video, but it has a little like Starbucks style green symbol on that cup, and I was like, that's perfect. And then there were donuts at work, so then I also had donuts once I got to work. So that was all around not a very healthy morning. But I didn't know about the donuts, in my defense, until I got to work. And then I marked down that I went for a little bit of a midday walk. I wanted to just pick up some milk to have in the office to use for my breakfast. And I really didn't like how I wrote that. And she had enough labels that I decided to just tear that one up and do it again. But yeah, it was nice to just get out of the office for a little bit midday and go for like a little bit of a walk. It was really nice weather that day, so even though it was just to run an errand. I'm just taking a little emoji to mark down that I did do that little grocery pickup then. Then taking a full box on that day, using one of these beautiful floral ones, and I'm going to take a half box on top of it to mark down that we went to an exercise class. We went to our Elevate class that I go to with my husband. If you watch my videos before, you know I go to these all the time. And that is like an interval training class that I go to with my husband. And I had to use the hashtag squats emoji because real life, that killed my quads. So that was perfect. And then I just marked down that I had dinner out at a salad place. And then it was kind of like a TV night. I watched both Brooklyn Nine-Nine and New Girl, and then watched some of the debate. I think this was the vice presidential debate. And so did that, and then kind of intermittently throughout that, I worked on picking up the house because we had a cleaning appointment the next day, and you know how you have to like clean before the cleaner. So did some of that, again marking it down with an emoji. So got the house in order and tidied up so it could be actually cleaned. And then on to Wednesday, I had to go in early to work for like an 8 o'clock meeting, which was like, so I'm gonna mark that down. I'm gonna grab a little shifty eye emoji because I was kind of like, really? Do we have to do this at 8 in the morning? But, so use that to mark that down. And then that day for lunch, we have food trucks near our office, and I never go. A lot of other people go like almost every day, and I just like to bring my lunch because I try to eat healthy for lunch, but I decided to go that day because I didn't really have a lunch, and so grabbing that food truck sticker from Piper Paper Co. that had been sent to me by Jen, who's one of my subscribers, and just like a person I wish was my in real life friend, Jen, you know. And anyway, so I just love that little, getting the chance to use that little food truck sticker. I thought that was awesome. And then I am just marking down that we had the cleaning appointment. That's more for like tracking purposes than anything. And I'm just using a little Once More with Love munchkin. I'm trying to get over my fear of like combining emojis and munchkins. I don't know why I don't like to do it, but I don't know. It's kind of nice to intersperse them both. And I know like both of the owners, Marge and Helen, are both friends, so I shouldn't feel weird about it, but they feel like they're almost like competitor stickers, so it feels weird to me. I don't know. And then I just marked down that I called my mom on the way home and talked to her for a while and took a half box for that night, and I'm just going to mark down I did a lot of YouTube. I did some filming, I did some editing, all that jazz. And I'm going to take a planner-esque camera sticker here in a second, back on top of that half box there, and just recording that. And then on to Thursday, taking that beautiful decorative girl sticker up at the top since I didn't have anything going on that morning, and just taking a little piece of washi underneath it. Again, I don't know why I felt, in retrospect, why I felt like I had to cover those headers, because they obviously match this kit really well, but I don't know, I did. And then I went actually to that little label sticker I put down to mark down that I went to a midday yoga class, which was so awesome. Like, the big bosses were out of the office that day. I didn't have like a crazy ton of work to do and had gotten in fairly early. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to a midday yoga class instead of like taking my lunch. So that was super awesome. And then that night I had a happy hour. So of course I took a wine emoji. Oh, and by the way, the yoga sticker is from, it's a Once More With Love yoga munchkin, which are like my favorite stickers. Then just taking a GP Sticker Studio YouTube slate to mark down working on YouTube that night. Do you guys get a theme that my life is like largely YouTube, exercising, and like social activities? That's really all I do, but that's okay. I like my hobbies. And on to Friday. This is a slightly different filming setup. It actually looks okay now that I'm taking a look at it. Could be a little sharper in focus, huh? Then Friday was payday, so I just went ahead and marked that down since she had that really cute payday sticker, and taking a little like happy money emoji, which I thought was really funny, next to payday. And then my mom was here that weekend, so she arrived, so I went down and marked that with a half box. And I took a little suitcase emoji that was from like her summer sampler emoji sheet, but I thought that was perfect for her arrival. Then just using a full box and layering a little half box over it. And I'm going to mark down that we went out for dinner to a pizza place. And I'm taking a Once More With Love pizza icon to mark that down. I think that's awesome. And I wanted to use the actual pizza one because for once the colors actually worked with the spread, so I didn't have to worry about them clashing, so that was good. And then after dinner, because my mom and I are crazy people, we did a Target run like at 9 o'clock at night, but that's the kind of weekend we had. So we went to Target to pick up a few things and just used a little shopping emoji next to that with a little flag from the kit. And I am filling in the meals for the rest of the weekend, although I realized like later I totally filled in Saturday wrong, so I kind of crossed it out. And then I took the big full box on Saturday that had kind of a space to write on it and wrote down my mom really wanted to go shopping. She wasn't feeling super, super great, so we didn't want to do anything too intense. So we did some shopping that afternoon and went to like DSW and the mall, and I'm grabbing that little Bath & Body Works emoji because we went to Bath & Body Works and I got some candles, which was super exciting. So, and I took that really big emoji up top. I thought that was just a nice way to like block out because we did spend several hours shopping, so that was like a nice way to block it out. And then, because again, my mom wasn't feeling super well, so we didn't want to do like a crazy big dinner that night, so we actually went to Wegmans, which was like a grocery store, but the Wegmans we went to actually had like a pub, so we went to dinner at the pub and then got groceries, and that was kind of like our Saturday night, not very exciting. And I'm just going to take a half box now to mark down that we just had like a lazy night after that because she wasn't feeling super well. And filling in the bottom there with deco since it looked kind of bare, so just took a few little pieces of that deco. And then on Sunday, my husband and I still went to our exercise class. My mom actually wanted to like get something for Christmas while she was, anyway, it was fine. So she said it was fine that we went to exercise. So we were like, you know what, it only takes an hour. Let's get it done. And then we all went out to brunch at just like a little, you know, it's like LPQ, which I think is in a lot of cities. So just something kind of casual for brunch. Then my mom and I went to like 2 different stores to try, or 3 different stores to like try and find reasonably priced pumpkins. And the only pumpkins we could find were like $15 pumpkins at Home Depot. And I was like, I'm not paying $15 for pumpkins. They're not that good. Sorry about my head here, folks. And then I got an email from my boss that was like, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, I ended up having to work that afternoon, which was fine because I kind of like worked while we were watching football. We were going to watch football that afternoon anyway, but it was just kind of frustrating to have to work while my mom was here. And then I filled in, I think, a little bit of the rest kind of off camera. I filled in that the Bills won with a label from the kit, and that I had to drive my mom to the airport, and then that I watched the debate. And then I'm going through with my sidebar. I totally forgot to fill this in kind of throughout the week, but, well, I guess I didn't start this till like towards the end of the week, like I said, but still. Filling in the Happy Mail that I got, and then just filling in my habit trackers and my little YouTube schedule down there, since I forgot to do that as I go. So that is the full finished spread. I thought this looked awesome. I loved how it turned out. Had a ton left over, so I'm going to save that to pass on to a friend. And I very much enjoyed using this kit. I thought it worked super well for this style of white space planning, although there's plenty of leftover, so I probably could have done a nice non-white space spread too. But I really enjoyed this. I think Helen's stickers are beautiful. But yeah, like I said, really fun to work with this kit, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching. Bye.